All right. Good morning and welcome in here on a Sunday morning. Got the camera set up as we are moving into a little bit of a different direction here in the studio. Hopefully, you guys like the changes that we've made. Welcome in, everybody, as you walk in as we play some craps here. And I'm looking to basically just start off with a little bit of a small bankroll. We're going to go $600. I've really been playing with bone tracker and practicing my throws. I actually had a really good practice session that I put in yesterday for about an hour. Had the honor and the privilege to work with Craps Master Journey Joe. So hopefully we can take what we learned from him yesterday, continue applying it today. Good morning, Skill. Thank you for joining us here this morning. And so we're going to take a lot of things that we learned from Craps Master Joe. I'm also going to be talking about the instructional pieces that I received from him. It's a lot of really good information, but I do have to throw in a caveat of that. And good morning. The caveat that, guys, what works for me may not necessarily work for you guys. However, be patient. A lot of the things that I will be going over with you guys today that he went over with me is applicable to everyone. Yes, I am very glad that Joe could help. It has definitely gotten me moving in the right direction with a positive mind. So today, I got my $600. We're gonna play a $10 minimum table just to have some fun, and more importantly than seeing how much money we make, more interested in the longer rolls. Even if I'm just passively receiving money, I'm more interested in my ATS hunting and lengthening my rolls. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off. Again, we're on a $10 minimum table. So I'll just go with a $10 pass line. Again, $600. We're not going anything too expensive to start. So we're just going to do $10 a spot, the 5 through 9. That'll work for me. And then, of course, we got to get our caps on our 6 and 8 with a dollar change. All right. So that is our setup for our table. Of course, these bets aren't working on the come out unless you say so. And I'm not saying so. $10 on the pass line. And yeah, let's have some good rolls. The big thing that he really pointed out to me specifically was my arm and locking my arm. So when and I'll face the camera so that you guys can see. So when I grab my dice, I have this natural bend in my arm. And when I went to throw, I would always keep this bend just looking for to make kind of like a pendulum. Well, he fixed me yesterday and said, lock your arm. Because what this apparently did for me is, yes, I would get the pendulum and then I would extend my arm, and it could create a lot of wonkiness, if you will, in the air as your dice are throwing. And so I'm going to be forcing myself to lock this arm to get more of a straight swing out. So we'll start out with the 5-4-5-4. And there's a couple of other tips that he pointed out to me that I will talk to you guys about as we're doing this. Get my arm locked, look for my position, look for my landing area, and a nice little toss. That will start us with a 6-3-9 for the point. All right, so let's mark that 9. We'll move the puck onto the 9. Now, for my pass line odds, I'm personally going to go a little bit heavier. I'm just going to go $50, 5 times odds. Oh yeah, and I did forget to mention that we're gonna go $10 minimum table, 5 times max odds behind on your pass line odds. Max, I'm not even gonna worry about. We'll just call it $1,000. Screw it, why not? $1,000 is our max. All right, so in practicing yesterday, oh sorry, as I hit my mic. In practicing yesterday, I also threw quite a bit over the weekend, reapplying my bone tracker just to see if my dice are going to come up differently, which they do because I am throwing left-handed. So for me personally, on a 9, after throwing about 500 rolls over the weekend, it said to go with a 3-2-2-3 for me specifically when I'm targeting 9s. All right, so The next step that Joe really told me about is after I get my dice in my hand and my fingers are all even across, the biggest thing was lock your arm, turn your dice. Now, when you look down at your dice, you're going to have a little bit of a reflection. And the idea is to use that reflection right and find your center and make sure that you are parallel with the back wall and parallel with the table below you. And that's going to really allow for a nice even release. And there's a 415, the sister number, which is good. FYI, your sound doesn't sound like you for some reason. Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm actually a little under the weather, so my voice is pretty gravelly. It's not the audio, it's me. I'm under the weather. All right, so a 5 hit, that's going to pay us 14. I'm just going to take it straight up to 20. Again, I'm not interested in getting my money like I normally would. This is about purely rolls in ATS. All right, here we go. Let's go back to it. So now that we've what was our number? Oh, it's a 9. My 9 is actually a 3553. I apologize, folks. 3553. Uh so now that we've talked about the arm needing to be locked, we've talked about that your fingers need to be in line with each other on the dice as you are holding them, and then also looking for that reflection. The last bit, yes, it does sound a little deeper. The last bit that he really pointed home was don't look for a landing zone, look for a landing area. And really, when he first said that, it threw me off because, oh, there's a 4-3, and that's fine. Um, it really threw me off because of the simple fact that he was saying, I hate calling it a landing zone. And the reason he hates calling it a landing zone is most people, when they think of a landing zone, will look at, okay, I need to be this distance away from the wall. It needs to hit the wall once and come back down. That's my landing zone right there. Well, what Joe mentioned to me was a landing area. Okay. So we all know when we throw, we're not going to get a perfect throw every time down the table. So he is not just looking for that specific spot. He's looking for a 6-inch radius around it, saying, this is my landing area. This is where I want to throw the dice. If I want to keep them out of the hook, I aim a little bit to the right, allowing for my area to not get hung up in that hook. So that is kind of what his philosophy and his definition of those areas and zones and why he doesn't like the zone and he prefers to have it called an area. Okay. That's a lot of words for saying, hey, keep your arms straight, look for your glare, and throw nice and even. So let's go back to our come out roll. I'm going with a hard way set of a 5-4-5-4. And this will allow me to make immediate changes to my dice sets that I'm using because I can see in real time what my dice are doing. So let me grab my dice here. So we know if we see a 1 or a 6, our dice are off a little bit. Here's our next throw on the come out. A 1-4-5. Okay, or 4-1-5. Okay, so it's a good result. 4-1-5. Mark our point. Let me get set up here real quick. 10, 10, 10, and 10. Oh, I forgot to put my pass line on there. Sorry, guys. I'm getting wrapped up in talking. There we go. And then, of course, your 6 and 8. Boop. There we are. 5 is our point. Now, let's talk about the real-time adjustments. So, if I know that I threw a 5-4-5-4, right? So, there is no 1 or 6, obviously, on these dice. And so it came up a 4-1-5. So, because I know that my dice imploded, meaning that it turned in, you can actually make an adjustment off of that. And what Joe had pointed out was if you know your right die is going to the left when it lands, well, just turn it to the right and throw a 5-4, 6-4. That was his real time adjustment. And you know what? I actually tried that a couple times yesterday and did find some success with it. Now, one roll isn't going to define what the dice are going to do every time. That's just one observation. So continue playing with it. And if you see that it is becoming a tendency, especially on like those hard ways, um, definitely make that adjustment and you can make that in real time. All right, here we go. Our point is a 5. So for a 5, I need to go with a 4-5-3-2. 4-5-3-2. Yes, I know that is an all 7 set. Get our dice lined up. Find our glare in the dice. Keep your arm locked. Identify your area. 2, 3, 5. How about that? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll take it. All right, so I didn't put my pass line odds on there. This is going to pay me 14. I'll just take that up to 20. I get paid 10 on the pass, and I'll rack 14. Simple, 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 simple. Put in, well, if you guys aren't able to put in the practice and the work for it, you're more often than not going to get those desirable results. You're just leaning to adjust to whatever the dice show. Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're not going to have a perfect throw every time. So learn to identify when those adjustments need to be made. All right, so we're going to go back to a 5-4-5-4 dice set. We're on the come out. We've already hit the point of 5 on a buckshot, which is always nice. Here comes our next toss. That's a 2-5 come out cookie, we like to call it. Doesn't affect me. I'm not playing the ATS. I do pick up $10 off of the pass line. Oh, you're just learning to adjust to whatever the dice show. Yes, absolutely. That's what you're doing. All right. So I'll just put that back in the rack. We'll just take our dice and slide them back down. Another thing that Joe really emphasized, and this is probably of everything for me personally that I learned from him yesterday, the one thing that really resonated with me was the velocity of the throw. And so once I was able to get my grip and identify where I wanted to throw to, I was having troubles with the actual toss itself because I was making all these adjustments. There's a 6-5 yo, which is nice. It's always good to go back to basics. Yes, it is skill. Yes, it is. But one of the things that he had mentioned to me was the throw itself. And I was struggling not to get to the back wall or get to my landing area. What I was struggling with was the consistency because I was thinking so much about where am I throwing? How am I throwing? Is my arm locked? Did I see my glare? Did I get it? Okay. So instead of just thinking that, he just said, get your dice, get your grip, set up, get an arm lock, and literally just kind of shot put it down. Don't think about it. Just shot put it. Hard 6. Yes, you want to worry about the mechanics and everything like that, but if you overthink, you're going to overthrow in a sense. $50 going behind, five times odds. Let's grab our dice and slide them down. Now, obviously, you still want to have the proper release and the proper spin and the rotation and everything along those lines. But the thing is, don't overthink it. Just give it a nice shot put down. Don't extend your fingers. Just when you go to release, just hitchhike down to the table. So essentially, you're when you go to release, just extend. All right, here we go. Our point is a 6, which is a 5-4-4-5 for me. 5-4-4-5. Let's see if we can't nail this 6. Got my dice, looking for my reflection. And this is absolutely a trick you can do in this casino with the reflection of the dice. 369. Same energy is very important. You are exactly correct, Skill. There's a 9. That's going to pay us 14. I'm just going to make it 20. Rack to 4. Here is our 369, just so that everybody at home can see. All right. Still working on a 6. 6 says 5445 for me. And if you guys are wondering how I had come across these interesting dice sets, Bruce Lee be like water, skill and luck be one with the dice. um, there is a tool out available for people who really want to work on their consistency of dice sets. If you are a dice set believer, it's called Bone Tracker 358. There we go. And you can actually Google it and find it and download it. And it's just an Excel document. It's not like it's a program or anything along those lines. And it really is valuable because it will tell you what your tendencies are after you've got your data put into it, and can give you kind of put you in the direction of where you want to be as far as more consistently rolling, because it picks up your tendencies on how the dice land, how they rotate, so on and so forth. All right, here we go. We are on a 6. Let's see if we can get that 6. 4, 5, 5, 4. Set up our dice. Nice even glare. 4, 3. Hey, not worried about it. Again, we're just looking for consistency, ATS, and extending rolls. So I'm not even worried about focusing on the money today. Okay. Now, obviously, the money is important, but the fact is that's not our focus today. That's a double pitch, and yeah, or no, it wasn't. I had a 5-4-4-3. Okay, yeah, single pitch. All right, let's move our money over and let's give it another go. I'm feeling a little more comfortable, so I'm going to go ahead and go up to the 110 with a quarter on the pass. People are like, "Well, Bob, you're throwing 2 short rolls." Yes, I know it's 2 short rolls, but it's also 2 rolls that have helped me kind of loosen up and get in the direction of a good toss. And plus, when I'm throwing, I typically will go a little bit heavier just because it's me throwing. So, and if it fails, it fails. It's on me, not anybody else. All right, here we go. 5-4-5-4 on the come out. That's a 5-6 yo. Okay, so that is going to pay us a quarter, and I'll just stick that in the rack. Slide down. Let's throw again. Yeah, the biggest thing when it comes to playing craps, and I'm sure anybody who has played any amount of time and has put some effort into it, consistency. The way you grab them, the way you hold them, the way you swing your arm, everything. I mean, everything. You want everything to be the same every time. That's a 2-5 come out cookie. We'll take it. This is a come out. We're all right. Again, we're just trying to get that motion, lock ourselves in. That was an extra 25 for us. So we've had a yo and a 7. You know what? I'm going to mark them over here on my side just because I want to keep track of the rolls. There we are. 5-4 and a 5-4. Here's our third come out roll. Three, 5, 8. There we go. Got a point. Slide our dice into where you guys can see it. We'll mark our 8. I'll just put 50 bucks behind on the pass line odds. That's what I got from the yo and this big red. Slide our dice down. Let's go. All right. We're looking for an 8. Now, here's one question that I have to pose to you guys. Let's say you hit a point like an 8 and you're getting set up to throw. Do you guys hunt for the point? Do you guys just go to right back to that 5-4-5-4, make those real time adjustments, or do you go straight into the point that the number that you are targeting as the point? Do you go to that immediately? Do you guys try to extend the roll by using a different method? What do you guys do? I'd be interested to hear that. All right, here we go. 6-5, yo. Got another yo. Now that one doesn't pay us that time, so we're not gonna hit that again. Let's see. Our point is 8. Oh yeah. Okay. There we are. Slide our dice down. For me personally, I think one of the things that I do like to do is I do like to target the points immediately. I don't apologize for buckshots. If I get them, great. To me, it's just about getting that consistency and making sure that we get what we're targeting. And if I can buckshot a point, it means I'm doing good. Next toss. That was the throw I wanted. 3-2. Do you see how it stayed low, had a good trajectory? The dice were spinning together. Yep, that felt good. All right, I'm going to take it up to 60 off of that $35 hit. Take our dice down, throw again. Now, the dice set that it gave me for an 8 is a 2-3-3-2. So, yeah, 5s are definitely going to have a good possibility of hitting as you're throwing this. Set up our dice. Yeah, just, I mean, once you get comfortable with grabbing the dice, I have found that I'm able to pick them up a little bit easier. 2-1-3. 3. Okay. There's the 3. Nothing on the 3 there. We'll just grab and slide down. Throw again. There's our 2-1. I think you guys can see the main table clearly enough on the screen. I tried to make it a little bit bigger, but not too big. So if you guys can't see the dice, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. I think you can, but I've also got an 85-inch television that I'm looking at. So it's a little bit easier for me. All right, here we go. Looking for the 8. Nice, easy tosses. Lock your arm. Thumb down. 5-6 yo again. We like that yo. Depends on what you want to do and what your bets are. Sometimes you want to snipe your betting. Should go with that accordingly. Yeah, no, I agree. And that's why I always go a little bit heavier on the pass line odds because I know I'm going to try to target that number. And if I get it, I want to be rewarded for it. So thanks for the thought process there, Skill. All right, here we go. We're on an 8, which says 2-3, 3-2. And if you guys are interested in finding out more information about the bone tracker, I'm going to try to remember. I'm going to try to find the link for it and put it in the comments of this video. That's a 4-3. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 roller. And we got past the 7 mark. So we didn't get past or get to the point. Or how did I not get out of that hand? Oh, because of all the horns. Whoops, that didn't go in there. It goes right here. Yeah, I got to remember that. Okay. Let's go again. Just gonna go 110 on the inside. Boop. And again, I'm not really focusing on the money. I'm more focusing on my rolls today. So please don't chastise me for not getting out of the hand fast enough or yada yada yada. Yeah, today is just purely how are we rolling? How does it look? Are we getting consistency? Now, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, which means I'm still tweaking my throw and whatnot, but that's gonna happen. All right, 5-4-5-4. It's still fairly early in the morning for me here, so I only been throwing for about 20 minutes before we started up here. Here is our come out roll with a 5-4-5-4. Oh, good rotation. 1-4-5. I did have the die bounce off access, but we're okay with that. 1-4-5. We'll mark our 5. Add pass line odds. $50. Just double what I have as far as each place bet. Okay. Coffee time. If you have your coffee, everybody take a sip. Mmm. Still nice and hot too. All right, that was a 5. Yeah, you guys can't see that. Oh yeah, I guess you can. I'm marking. If you see me throwing chips over here on this side where I'm throwing, I'm just using that as a roll counter. So that's all it is. All right. For the 5, it's a 4-5-3-2. Set up our dice. Here we go. Hard 4. We'll take a hard 4. Even though I didn't have anything on it. That's okay. Still a good throw. Real good throw. And let's see here. 4-5. 3-2. There it is. Okay. Nice, easy tosses. Looking for a 5. 1-3-4. We like that 4 apparently. See, yesterday I was doing this test and I think I threw the dice 100 times just trying to play with the different dice sets and see what it would do. I hit 2 4s. It was quite crazy. But I mean, sometimes just overthinking and whatnot, it can really, yeah, be amazing on the results of it. 2 4s out of 100 throws. That was crazy. And I had 6 10s. That's a 1-2-3. Man, the throws are looking good. They are going a bit off, which means my velocity on the throw is a little heavy. So let's try lightening it up, but still get into our landing area. Okay. And the thing about for me when I'm throwing is I know I can hit my spot. I just need to get to my spot with the correct velocity. Looks like I need to add another light here as I look at my cameras. This is the first time that I've really looked at my cameras. So I'm going to add a light back here so that it's not so dark. All right. 4-5-3-2. Nice even toss. Low shot put. There we go. A little better. 5-6 yo. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Still have one dice that's bouncing around on me a little bit, but that's okay. We're getting it under control. And so a yo is not bad. A 2-3 yo or 12 at this point is not bad for me. It's just allowing me to keep going. 4-5-2-3 or 3-2, excuse me. Nice, easy toss. See, that's the action that I want. Now I got to get the distance a little bit. I did get the 4 back to it, which was a 4-6-10. So we'll mark our 10. I just got to make sure that I've got enough oomph to get down there. That it is such a fine line sometimes about the velocity of it. Okay, here we go. 4-5-3-2. We're just looking for consistency. And that is the biggest part of this game is just having consistency. There we go. Little on the short side, 3-4. I'm not upset by that throw. That throw felt really good. Yeah, I know it's a 7. It's essentially a PSO, but I really don't care, guys. To me, this is just about throws. And as a matter of fact, I'm just putting the money right back out on the table because I'm not keeping track of the money. I'm keeping track of my rolls. All right, here we go. Slide them down. Let's reset our ATS. And if you guys see something, this is one of the reasons that I set up my cameras like this. If you guys see something and you're like, hey, you're dropping your hand or you're releasing them late or early, by all means, say it. That's what this is for. This is good practice time together. All right, here we go. Going back to the 5-4-5-4. That is a 3-5-8. Mark your eights, guys. 8 is the point. There's our 8. Mark our 8. Let's get the 8. Oh, I need to get my pass line odds too. Don't want to forget about that. There we are, $50. So for an 8, I want a 2-3-3-2. For some reason I really like this 2-3-3-2 dice set. It has been pretty nice to me. It's nothing different than a 4-5-5-4, but you know, I don't know. And then you throw a 7. That's awesome. All right, I'm just gonna reset it. Let's throw again. Again, I'm not fussed by the money, guys. To me, this is a good practice throwing session. That's all I'm gonna do it. All right, here's the 5-4 and another 5-4. Let's have a good toss here. Now, I am gonna warn you guys, I will not. Oh, there's a 4-5-9. I like that. I will not have coffee and craps next weekend. I do some volunteering for different things from time to time, and one of those weekends is next weekend. So coffee and craps is probably going to be off. 9 is our point 50 here on our pass line odds. Um, so we will not have coffee and craps next week. However, I am going to try to get in for and join Trey on his LFC next weekend, and I'll be sure to do what I can to get back in time for that. All right, so let's go with a 9, which is a 3-5-5-3 for me. 3-5-5-3. And I know a lot of these dice sets aren't going to make a lot of sense, but hey, it's what works for me and the results that I got. So I'm not going to question it until I can prove it one way or the other. Here's our throw. Oh, good throw. That's a 4-1-5. Hey, that's a sister number. That's good. So we'll mark our 5. Oh, 5 is going to pay us 35. I'm just going to take it up to 60. Since 9 is my point, 5 is my sister number, I don't have a problem loading up that sister number as well. All right, 3-5-5-3. Here's our next toss. Four, 3. Okay, so that one I could feel slip out of the hand, and that's just part of it. You got to get a good grip. That was on me because I didn't have a good enough grip. And that's one of the things that I'm working on. And the reason that I am I'll be blatantly honest with you guys. The reason I'm having so many issues is the fact that I'm not left-handed. I am not left-handed. I am right-handed, but I have to throw left-handed. So that's what we're going to do. 5-4, 5-4. Here we go. Next throw. So it's really about having to retrain everything, body, mind, everything. 325. We'll mark the five. Apparently, I like the five today. There's our five. Mark our five. Let's hunt for the five. Hopefully, you all had a great week. Mine was a busy one, to be honest with you. Just a lot of things going on at work and lots of travel for work, and but it's been a lot of fun. It was a nice week. It started off really cold, but it wound up being probably one of the most beautiful weeks we've had thus far. Of course, it's March, and it shouldn't be that beautiful already. Looking for a five. 325. 235, excuse me. 235. There's our point. All right. I forgot to put my pass line odds on there, so I'll just pay myself how it should be. There's 60, quarter for the pass, puck off, put money in the tray. Let's get another point. I like it. So, as you can see, you don't always have to have that high arcing throw. A low trajectory with just enough of an arc and just enough of a spin to get it to stop. That's what I'm looking for. 5-4, 5-4 on the come out. 369. Okay, let's mark our nine. Nine is our new point. Oh, I'm gonna also put these are fire bet markers just to show what points I've hit as I play. There we go. So we had the five. I'm going for the nine now, which is a sister to the five. That's nice. Let's see here. So it will be a 3553. Grab our dice. Nice, easy, and toss down. Oh, there we go. 5-6, yo. I could tell that the right dice stuck a little bit on that throw, and that's fine. It just means I need to hold my dice a little bit better. There's our 5-6, yo. Let's see here. 3553. There we are. Hard six. We'll take it. I like it. Mark our six. All right, six is going to pay us 35. Just going to make it 60. So I've got 60 on my five and six both. Oh, I need to get my 50 on here for pass line odds. Come on, guys. Yell at me if I don't get my pass line odds on. All right, hard six was the roll. Throw it down. Let's do again. Looking for the nine. 3-5 and a 5-3. Oh, good throw. That felt good. 4-1-5. There's that five again. And we did pump up the five. We had 60 on it, so that's going to pay us 84. 84. Now I'm just going to reduce down. So I'll put that at a quarter, put that back at 30. That gives me 125, 45, 149. We're out of the hand. Plus this. So now my next hit, I'll look to spread out to the 4 and 10, and we'll just play normal. I'm going to just do quarter raises. I'm not going to go full presses or anything like that. I will like the first couple of hits just to try to get me out of the hand faster, but yeah. All right, here we go. 3-5-5-3 for my nine. I'm looking for a nine as the point. Here we are. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Left eye was off a little bit. That's okay. Mark the 3. There's a 3 right there. And we'll take it down, throw again. Okay. Just continue with that same repetitive motion. And if you guys wonder if I talk to myself this much, well, I'm by myself and not on streaming or anything, I do. I think all of us do. Just good verbal reminders for ourselves. Had a good bounce, 3-1, and not a good bounce. It had a big bounce, but we got the 4, 3-1. We'll take that 4. We don't have anything on it, and that's okay. We're going to continue pushing forward. Because once I get my money in my rack, I don't want to put it back on the table to reinvest just to have to get that money back. 3, 5, 5, 3. Looking for that 9. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I felt a little off on that throw. Again, I'm looking for my consistency and I'm not quite there, but I'm not left-handed, so we're gonna get there. It's just gonna take practice. 3, 5, 5, 3. And that's why we do these things. Oh, there we go. That one felt good. 2, 4, 6. As long as you don't answer yourself out loud, I think you're fine. That's fair. That is absolutely a valid point. All right, that's gonna pay us 35. I'm just gonna stick it on the 4, rack 10. Because I wanna get those other numbers covered as well. All right. I'm gonna turn that TV so I can see it a little bit better. There we are. All right, moving back. Here we are looking for a 9 and the 3, 5. Okay. Yeah, that one felt good. 1, 4, 5. The left eye still bounced off a little, but I'm okay with the 5. The 5 has been hot for us today for whatever reason. 25, 35. I'm just gonna make it 50, rack the 10. Again, just doing quarter raises. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna make it 50 yet. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it on the 10. Now I can do my quarter presses. I just want to use what the casino gives me to do all of my betting. 6, 4, 10. How about that? Put that money on the 10 right at the right time. All right, let's drop them $1 for the VIG. And I'll make it 50, put a quarter back in the rack, and continue forward. Now, I know what you're saying. You're looking at that small. I'm not on it, so I'm not necessarily concerned about it. But the going for the 9, one of my top dice sets for getting aces was a 3, 5, 5, 3, believe it or not. Because I would have them explode from time to time. And that takes it into account. 2, 5. What can be fun is talking in the third person. The Rock says, the Bob says. Yeah, that's true. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 12, 13 roller. Hey, all right. We're seeing some progress. That was a 13 roller that time. That's what we want. We want to start getting consistently into the teens with our throws. That's what I want. And so far, we're building on it. What do you think? Go again? Absolutely. Let me get a refresh on my coffee. Skill, how the heck are you, sir? It's been a while since we've, or not a while, it's been a couple days since we talked. Hopefully, you had a good week and have been able to thaw out after all that freezing from earlier in the week that we had. Mm. Yeah, coffee. It's a good thing. All right, let's have another throw. We're going to go back to the 5454. Thank you for letting me get that sip of coffee in me. Hard 10. There we go. I like it. Mark your 10. That was a nice throw. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go 50s, or basically 210 on the inside. Oh, and I forgot to put my pass line on there again. Skill, yell at me, will you please? Put your money, get your money on the pass line. All right. Take our dice, slide them down. Here we go. Started off with a hard 10. I like it. All right. Here we are. 459. I like a 9. All right, that is going to pay $70. Oops. There we are. I'm just going to take that 50 and I'm going to put it here on my pass line odds. Take the 20 and rack it. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't do that. What I should do is make my 9 100, rack the 20 because I want to get out of the hand. So I'm going to press hard at first and see if we can't bust out of this hand fast. All right, here we go. So it's saying for me for a 10, 4 2 5 4. Is that right? Yeah, 4 2 5 4. That's what we're going with. 3 6 9. See, look at that. I just pressed that 9. That paid off for us. That's going to pay us 140, right? And so if that pays us 140 and I take 50 off, that gives us 190. However, that does not get us out of the hand. So I'll just take this up to 1 1/4, rack 120. I'm okay with that move. Especially if we hit this 9 again. We'll definitely be in a good spot. Doing good. The weather is insane. It doesn't know if it wants to be winter or summer. Not sure if the government is flipping it like a light switch. Yeah, no, that's actually funny. I would love for it to even out on the weather wise. I actually, you know, I was reading in the news the other day. Kansas, the state of Kansas, is wanting to eliminate the time change in their state, but have found out that they can't do it without getting Missouri on board because of Kansas City being split both on the Missouri and Kansas side. So they're working with Missouri right now to see if they can end the daylight savings swap back and forth, springing forward, falling back. So I really hope they do. I would really like for that to stop. All right, here we go. Looking for a 10. 1 6. Yep, I felt my hand rotate as I was releasing it. I'm going to throw it again. We're going to end this roll, but That roll did not feel good because I know that I did not release it properly. All right, so we were throwing a 4-2-5-4. And see, that's pretty awesome that I can recognize it. Now I just have to recognize it before I actually throw the dice. But that doesn't always work out that way. See, that was a much better throw. There's that 9 that we needed. That's all right. Let's go again. I'm just gonna put this back down to the $50 level and we'll throw again. I'll just put all that right back in there. Why not? All right, here we go. Starting our roll over. That was a 4 roller just for those at home that may not have been keeping track. Here we are. Start off 5-4-5-4. What I probably should have done on that last roll was just stay right there on the hard way set since I nailed it right out of the gate. But nevertheless, 1-3-4. We'll take it. I'm feeling that my throw is a little wonky right now, so I'm going to try to tighten up here. My arm just feels a little bit looser than what it should be, and you'll recognize that as you're throwing. As long as they sprang forward and left it that way, it should be fine. But I'm not a farmer who it was designed for. No, absolutely. But I will say, at the time that they put the time change in, it was a needed thing. Now Nowadays, it's kind of obsolete and not really needed in my opinion. So, I don't know. All right, we've got a point of 4. Let's go with a 4-5-2-3. That's what our bone tracker data says. So, let's see what it does. This is the first time that I've really full on gone with these new dice sets. So, bear with me as I explore them and see what does and does not work. 6-2, easy 8. So there's my 8. Mark the 8. 8 is going to pay us $70. I'm just going to make it 120. Move forward. Let's see here. 4-5-2-3. Just for those that may be interested, going I may be jumping on Trey's LFC. Depends on how the wife and I are feeling today. Both of us are a little bit under the weather. Tomorrow's her birthday. Hey, hard 4. There we go. Tomorrow's her birthday, and we were actually going to go out and meet up with my daughter and her boyfriend. And I forgot. Oh, I didn't have any pass line odds. That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 50, stick it right on the 4, turn the 4 off. Not quite enough to get out of the hand, but we'll take it and move on. Yeah, we were gonna go out to eat tonight. There's a really nice restaurant here in Kansas City that we were gonna check out. It's called 1587 Prime. It is actually a restaurant put together by Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey here in Kansas City. And my wife told me that's what she wanted for her birthday was to go there and eat. So I booked the reservations 2 weeks ago because that's as early as you could get it and as late as you could get it. There's a 358. And so we're going to go tonight if we're both feeling up to it. Unfortunately, with us both being a little bit under the weather, it has kind of put that on the back burner. So we'll see. If I go, I will probably not be playing tonight. If I do not, I may be playing tonight. Point. We have a point. It is an 8, which says I need a 2-3-3-2. Here we are. My wife's birthday is actually tomorrow, not today, but we're going to celebrate it today. 2-4-6. That is a good hit for us. That's a sister number. All right, let's see where we're at now. I've got 50, 150 plus 170, 180 out on the table. Let's continue to press. This is going to be my last press. Hopefully, I can get a good hit on this roll, and we're out of the hand. Slider dice down. We're looking for an 8. Yeah, that's what we're after is an 8. 2, 3, 3, 2. Here we are. Let's see if we can get this 8. Would love an 8. That was a good throw. 145. The bounce threw off the 1, but that's okay. That's that 5 again. We've been pounding the crap out of. That's going to pay us 70. All right, so I'm going to drop this down to 60. Drop this down to 60. And pull that 50. There's 200, 225, 240 plus 285 or 280, excuse me. We are out of the hand. Hey, look at that. All right. Let's continue playing. We're back where we started. That is all paid for. And actually, what I'll do now that it's all paid for, I'm going to extend out, drop my 6 and 8 to 30 each, and just put another $60 back in the rack. I like that move. Now we'll just do quarter presses. And I'll put, almost forgot, I'll put $50 for my pass line odds because I'm going to double what my minimum is there. Now we can throw. Looking for an 8. 2, 3, 3, 2 is my dice set of choice. Looking for a nice, good, easy throw. 3, 2, 5. There's that 5 again. 5 is going to pay us 35. Just going to make it 60. Remember, we are out of the hand. If I'm going to try to do a little bit of full pressing, look for that first black chip and then just cruise. So 2, 3, 3, 2. Here's our next toss. Five, 4, 9. I like it. That's the sister number to what we just hit. Mark the 9. Again, 9's going to pay us 35. I'm just going to make it 60. Push forward. All right. 2, 3, 3, 2. I'm thinking about adding one more camera to my setup here. 639 again. All right. I'm thinking about adding another camera so that you guys can actually see the dice that I'm grabbing. I just don't know if I'm going to go with it yet. All right. That's going to pay us $84. So I'm going to pull the 10 off. I'll make this 100 and rack the rest of it. $44 coming to the rack. That's where I want my 9. I want to try to get each spot up to 100 as I'm playing, but I'm only going to press it as it's hitting. Because I want to, if I hit the 9 again, I want to be able to rack that. All right. 2, 3, 3, 2. Here we go. Do you think that's too many cameras if I add that next camera? I'd be interested to hear. I just don't know if it would be too much on the screen. 4, 5, 9. Awesome. That's going to pay us 140. And we're going to rack it. Actually, what I'll do is I'll rack the 115. I'll make the 9 125. I'm okay with that move. Works for me if it works for you. There's our 9. Looking for a 5. That's our point. Okay, let's set it back up. 2 3 3 2. Looking for a 5. Or a 9. I'd be okay with a 9. Hard 8. We'll take a hard 8. That's our point. Put that on the 8. 8 is marked. Pays us 35 here. I'll just make this 60. And then this is going to pay us 60 on the back side and 50 on the front side. Just rack all of that. And actually, yeah, I'm going to take this up to 120 and stop. I'm still racking a $55 profit from that hit. All right, here we go. Puck is off. We've got our point. Oh, and just so you guys also know, I've been doing a lot of work here behind the scenes that you may not necessarily be aware of. But I got some pretty interesting things planned along with some changes to the room. I mean, as you can see, I've made big changes with all the paint and whatnot, and it looks so much better in here. There is aces. We'll take aces. It's on the come out, which kind of sucks, but we'll still take the aces. All right, so we're going to lose $50. So I'll just pull it from the rack, put it right there. You'll need a camera switcher soon that does it with motion detection. Yeah, I've seen those, but I'll tell you what, Skill, they're not like super expensive, but I've kind of got my money earmarked for something in the room already. So that could come down the line, just not at the moment. I do like that idea of getting that type of camera, though. That's a 325. Hey, there's that popular number we've been hitting. Oh, I forgot to put it on the 8 because we hit the 8. All right. Point is 5. Here we are. Oh, I got to get my money behind on my pass line odds. I did say I was doing 50, so I'll put 50 back there again. Just leave it like such. No sense in increasing that just yet, as we're still kind of recouping from that previous roll. All right, here we are. Our point is a 5, so we'll have a 4 5 3 2. Hard 4. 4, let's drop them a $1 VIG. It's going to pay us 50 bucks. I'm just going to make it 50. Put the other quarter on my 10. Rack my 1. There we are. I know I said I wasn't going to keep sprinkling money all the way across, but on this one I wanted to because I wanted to press the sister number to it. All right, here we go. Looking for a 5 with a 4 5 3 2 dice set. 4 6 10. See? Aren't you glad I pressed up the sister number? All right, let's drop them a $2 VIG. That's going to pay us $100. So I will increase that to 75 and my 4 to 75 and rack 50. Nice. Let's keep it going. I'm liking this. Nice, easy tosses. 4, 5, 3, 2. Here's our next throw. Choo choo hard 4. How about that? Man. Okay. Let's drop them a $3 VIG. That's going to pay us 150. There's 150. I'm going to make my 4 100 and my 10 100 and rack $100. I'm still staying away from my hard ways. And the only reason that is that I don't feel like I hit them consistently enough yet. We'll get there. All right, here we go. Looking for a 5, 4, 5, 3, 2. Five, 1, 6. Mixer. 6 is going to pay us 35. So I'm just going to make it 60. Rack the nickel. Take our dice and slide them down. Man, it's amazing how just an hour with somebody really giving you honest, constructive criticism on your throw, how much it can make a difference. One, two, three. Ding, 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 ding. There's the smalls. So I'll mark that I hit the small. Move these back off. Let's grab our dice and throw them down. Nice. All right. 4, 5, 3, 2. Come on. Two, 6, easy 8. Mark your 8. It's already marked. I've got 120 on it, so that's going to make it 140 coming to me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and just make it 150. That's where I'm going to stop it. I'm racking 75, $110 coming back to my rack. All right, I got to sell some of these reds back. Well, there's 100 back. And here's another 100 back. There we are. Continuing forward. An 8 was a nice hit. I'd love to hit that again. All righty. Here we go. We are looking for a 5, 4, 5, 2, 3. Oh, excuse me. That should be a 4, 5, 3, 2. I don't want a 4. I want a 5. There we are. Although I'd take a 4. 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 5. Hey, there's the point. Holy shnikes, that 5 is hot. All right. 5 is going to pay us a 70 here. All right. It's going to pay us. Hold on. Let me grab my more greens. 75 on the back side and 50 on the front side. My 5 is now going to go up to 100. Oh, wait a minute. That was wrong. That is not going to pay us 70. That is going to pay us 84. Right? Yeah. So I'll take this. I'm just going to make it 1 1/4, and that's where I'm going to stop. I'll rack the rest of that. Why did I get so aggressive on this press here? because I made all this over here as well. I got another, what, $125. So this will get racked. And there we go. Green's coming back, being sold back. This plus this is our initial buy-in. We're in profit land. Let's keep it going. I like it. Our point was 5. 5 was achieved. Let me mark the 5 with the fire bet chip. Let's continue forward. Nice. I like that. All right. We're going to go back to the come out of a 5-4-5-4 dice set. Hard 6. That's a good sign. Oh, wow. I've already gone through. Okay. Let's mark our 6s and grab our dice. Now, for the pass line odds, I'm going to kick them up to 100. Okay, so we're on the hunt for a 6. So I need a 5-4-4-5 for my dice set. Hard 6 right back. Hell yeah. I like it. That 6 is going to pay us 120 on the backside, right? That 5, let's see, that'll give us 50 on the front side. This is going to pay us 70, so I'm just going to make it 120 total. Now we can mark our 6 on the fire bet. Let's pull our money off the table. That was a nice hit. All right, there we go. There's that. There's that. And there's that. Dice are moving. Turn our puck off. And let's do another come out. 5-4-5-4. Six, 3, 9. I felt a little twist on my wrist, so I'm going to straighten that out for the next throw. 9 is our point. Look at that, boys and girls. This is our 4th point. Opportunities are abound on that fire bet. All right, 9. We need a 3-5-5-3. One, 3, 4. We'll take that 4. Mark it here, and I'll show it off real quick. Oh, I forgot my pass line odds. Skill, you're not reminding me. It was a 1, 3, 4. I think you all saw that. All right, so there's 100 back on the pass line odds. And it was a 4. I've got 100 on it. Let me go ahead and fix that. And yeah, I've got 100 on the 10 as well. So let's put that on the 10. The 4 hit, so I need to drop a $5 for the VIG. That's going to pay me 200, and I'm going to leave it just like that. Rack that. On that hit, I want to rack it the first time. All right, our point is a 9. 3-5-5-3 for me is the dice set that I have identified. There we go. Hard 4. I like it. Back to back. All right. That's going to pay us $200 after a $5 vig. I'm going to make it 200, rack the other 100. So now I'm going to throw a quarter on a hard 4 and a hard 10. I'm sorry. I can't pass up on that. All right, here we are. 4 5. Oh, wait. 9. It is a 3 5 5 3. 6 1. Of course, that's when it'll come. That's funny. All right, let's rack all this up. Clean off the board. Oh, that was too good. Well, we definitely climbed out of the hole and moved into Profitsville. So there's 600. That's my initial buy-in. 2, 4. There's another 500. There's another 125. That makes 150, 175, 179, 679 on top of the 600, 1279 plus some extra whites. You're double dipping with that place 9. Yeah, I know. I was. I always double dip on the point skill more often than not. Either I'll go no pass line odds or I'll double dip. And let me tell you why I do this. And this is just for me as a player. The big thing is that if I get all my place bets here, so I'm just going to arbitrarily set this up so that you guys can see it. Okay, so say I've got something like that. Okay, so as I'm playing along and I move my money around, okay, 9's the point. Now I'm going to put this back behind here, so I'm good to go. Oh, I got the 9. I got paid. Great. Okay, let's roll the come out. Bang. All right, I got an 8. I forget to always put my money back on the 9. That's me personally. So this is why, if I'm going to play money on the number and I don't want the extra coverage, I will not play my pass line odds. I'll just leave it up there because I don't want to lose track of uh, not getting the money back on the table. Because I get when I'm rolling, I get pretty locked in on the roll, and I know it is a weakness of mine, and I kind of lose track of exactly what I'm doing when it comes to my betting. Sometimes, not all the time, just it's a way for me to not have to think about it as much. And if I find a number that I really, really like, I'll double press or with it on the pass line odds and the place bet. That's just me personally. Um, yeah, that's just what I do. That's it's not necessarily a bad thing. I just got to remember. All right, so let's count up how many rolls we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, a 26 roller. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, fix these up. And there we have it. All right, so now what I want to do is we're going to try translating this over to a crapless game and see if I can't get any kind of success with this out also. Now, I know that through a lot of these dice sets and whatnot, I do have the tendency to throw some horns just because of how my dice bounce, and that's okay. Mm, sorry, just had to get a little more coffee in me, and that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to work at it on the crapless table and see. Oh, I moved my camera. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I know real life adjustments, right? There we are. Here we go. Playing crapless. Set up with a 5 4 5 4 dice set. Our first toss. 6-4. Easy 10. Let's mark our 10s. 10 is the point. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with a 110 inside. Oh, I forgot my quarter on the pass line. Sorry, guys. 110 on the inside, and let's roll. Point is 10. So let's go ahead and hunt that 10. It's going to be a 4-2-5-4 for me. Four, 6, 10. Right back. Nice. Oh, I only made a quarter on that throw. That's okay. We'll mark that 10. And I know you can't do fire butts on crapless, but I'm just using that as a marker to indicate that I have hit that point. All right, back to the 5-4-5-4 dice set. We're on the come out after a buckshot point. I like it. Six, 4, 10 again. Holy shnikes. We're going to pound the crap out of the 10 today. All right, mark your 10. We're putting 100 back on the pass line odds. 5 times odds, remember. Can we do it again? I'd be okay with that. 4-2-5-4. 6-3-9. I saw that 6 land and I was like, no way did we just throw 4 10s in a row. All right, 6-3-9. That's going to pay us $35. I'm just going to make it 60. And the reason I'm pushing so hard is I want to get that. If I hit that again, I'm out of the hand. That's exactly why. Because that'll pay me 80, right? And then I pull the initial, what is that, 35 off? Yeah, 115. 3 5. Oh, wait, whoa. I'm looking for a 10. All right, so I want a 4-2-5-4. I like that throw. 5-4-9. It felt good. That 9 is now going to pay us $84. Take the initial or the additional 35 off. That gives me $119, and I'm out of the hand with my place bets, not my pass line. So what I could do, pull the 100 off for the moment, because now I'm only into the hand for $25 roughly. Here we go. Looking for a 10. 4-2-5-4. Watch me hit the 10 right here. No, hey, how about that? 3-4. Okay. I mean, it's not a reason to celebrate, but I pulled that 100 right at the right time and proper regression. So there's 135 that I had. That's 125, 49. Yep. All right. I made a little bit of scratch on that one. So not bad. Not bad. Now, I ultimately, you want to have the long rolls and whatnot, but that's just the nature of the game sometimes. All right, I'm going to sell this stack of whites back. That's $20, and I'll throw in a nickel. They'll give me a quarter. Whoops. There's that and that. So yeah, we definitely made money today. Got ourselves in a position where we were able to translate it over to the crapless table. I'm going to give the crapless one more go because I really didn't get the full on roll with it. And I just want to see if we can't take advantage of these new dice sets and put us in a position where we can then take advantage of it on a crapless table. Here we go. Going with a 5454. We're going to have some fun with this one, right? That is a 6410. Big Ben down on the end. Let's mark our 10. I'm trying to fix my camera. I'm sorry, guys. It's just bugging me. It's slightly off. There we are. That's better. All right. Mark our 10. It's already marked from previous roll. 10 is marked. Let's get loaded up here. All right. We're playing crapless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I don't want to go that. Well, you know what? We're here to have fun, right? Quarter on the pass. There we go. That's what we got. We're just going to have fun with it. See what we can do. Let's do some damage, as they say. All right. So our point is a 10, 4, 2, 5, 4. Like a haunted house, get out of the hand. Yeah. 314. How about that? Hey, there we go. It's already paying off dividends. All right, let's chuck in $5 for the VIG. It's going to pay us 200. And because I'm trying to get out of the hand, we'll take it up to 300. Play it like you got it, right? Let's get out of this hand. Hit that 4 again. We'll be in real good shape. Okay, 10, 4, 2, 5, 4. We hit the sister number, and that was good. Three, two, five. We'll take it. I like a 5. Okay, that's going to pay us 140. And I'm just going to make it 200, rack to 40. Next roll. All right. Looking for a 10. Sorry, I still don't know these dice sets very well, so I'm having to reference back to them. Two, four, six. That one was a little lighter than I wanted, but that's okay. 2, 4, 6. 6 is going to pay us 175. 3, 4. Nope, not quite. All right, so I'm going to take my 6 up to 300. And rack the quarter. I'll put the quarter on the 9 because that'll pay 175 when I hit it. It's risky, but I'm trying to get out in as few hits as possible. That's 3 hits. I could regress down and be out of the hand completely, but I'm trying to stay at this level. That's why I'm sticking with what I have. 4, 2, and I know it's a risk. I get that. I recognize it. I could be out conceivably in 1 hit with this method if I regress. There we go. Hopefully, you guys can hear me now. All right. So it looks like this bone tracker information that I have collected is something that I can utilize definitely on the craps table. And I have been able to prove that it does work. The crapless table, it doesn't seem to be as consistent. Not yet. We'll work on it. And a lot of that is probably just because I need to continue working on my throw. And that's fine. If I need to continue, I need to continue. That's what this is all about. That's why we do these sessions. That's why I look for input and insight from the people who are here watching with me, uh, give me suggestions, point out things that may not necessarily look right, or just ask in general. No big deal. Anyhow, we're going to attempt to be on tonight with Trey. His LFC is tonight at 8 p.m. Again, it just depends on how the wife and I are feeling. We're going to try to go out and celebrate her birthday. But in the meantime, Skill, thank you very much for hanging out with me here today. I hope you all have a fantastic Sunday. And I look forward to possibly seeing you guys this evening, just depending on how I feel. Guys, have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time.